Hi, so this video is about functional visual loss and malingering, and I'm going to be concentrating more on the functional visual loss. So malingering, ocular malingering, this is obviously where you're trying to cheat the eye test. You might be trying to, pretend that you have a condition to get benefits or time off work, and conversely you might be trying to cheat the eye test and pretend that you don't have a condition, maybe to keep your driving license or to keep a job that requires good vision. And functional visual loss, that's another thing again, and that is when it's I'll say allegedly all in your head. So other ways of describing it are subconscious, unconscious stimulation of non-existent disease, so psychogenic visual loss, conversion disorder, hysterical visual loss, hypochondria, psychosomatic. So how does this come about? Well, basically, as soon as you walk in to your eye examination, you're going to be obviously describing what your problem is, saying what you've come for. So if you, it can be the case that you have poorly described or vague symptoms, because this is how it presents to you. You might have eye pain. Eye pain is subjective. You might find your vision blurs in and out, especially if you've got eye strain. Again, that is subjective, can't always be measured. And if it comes without, so if you're describing these symptoms and none of them match up with a tick box of actual eye diseases or conditions, that is a red flag straight off. And at that point, the optician will be kind of looking at other things. Can you get upstairs okay? If they hold out their hand, can you shake it? So unfortunately for a lot of people, that's a bit of a red flag to the optician to say, this is all in their head. So, what happens then, and this should be a red flag to the patient then, or the client, if they run through the tests and that's the end of it, then they've done the assessment, concluded there's no eye disease, they're not going to take it any further. And what happens is, if you're fine in the examination, you manage to go through all the tests, okay, your basic eye checks, and then you're given after the fact history. So you've gone through the eye test and everything turns out fine, and you're left there saying, yeah, but I've still got these problems, what am I going to do? There's no point, it's done, finished. They've made their decision based on how you've presented. It's not your fault, because a lot of conditions do present as vague symptoms. There's a lot of eye conditions, they're not serious in themselves, but they impact on your daily life. So long-sightedness is one, and opticians are so behind the ball on this. Strabismus is another. Anything that's giving you eye strain, binocular vision, the tests for that really aren't that great. And this was an interesting thing that they threw up, was that if someone who has genuine vision loss will be able to get up and down stairs really quite easily. They'll have trouble negotiating the first step because they'll be trying to find where that is, but after that they'll be able to get up or down quite easily. If you've got strabismus, anyone with strabismus knows that stairs are an absolute nightmare. Certainly when I was, before I had my glasses, you know, I was just kind of clinging onto the banister, kind of hauling myself up or downstairs. Don't even get me started on the subject of escalators. Absolute nightmare. So they'll see someone kind of struggling up the stairs like that, and they think it's all in their head. So what happens then is, you know, you get sent home, you know, with a clean bill of health, and congratulations, you got no eye diseases. Well, I know I haven't got an eye disease, but you know, I've still got a problem. And it stops there, because in the point of view of the eye doctor or the optician, they've kind of made that decision for you. So they're sort of steering the patient away from taking up, needlessly taking up expensive and time-consuming treatments. So they stop the opportunity of any further treatment for that patient. And it's, you know, it is decided then and there pretty much that it's an underlying psychological cause. And you know, they might kind of steer you to like an MRI scan to rule everything out. Well, that's pointless, because those are like really expensive, and someone with a genuine condition could be benefiting from that scan instead of an optician, you know, needlessly shuffling someone else, you know, shuffling someone off who they consider is a hypochondriac, you know, in place of a, you know, a genuine cancer patient or something. So if you've had this problem, and yeah, looking back, I mean, this really opened my eyes up, no pun intended. How you present is all important. So, you know, I would say, don't try and persuade the optician that you've got a problem, you know, once you've gone through the you know, testing process and everything comes out okay. This is something you have to work on for yourself, and, you know, find your own way, because you're not going to get help from an optician on this. Certainly don't talk about the problems you're having. I mean, you could just check in and say, oh, just come for my eye test. But apart from that, you know, think about this. You will not be taken seriously. So yeah, that was a little something I found that was quite interesting. And, you know, with hindsight, I can see what's happened when I've gone to the optician a lot of times. So not that I've gone to the same optician a lot of times, but a lot of times when I've gone, said I've got this problem, and immediately I've said I've got this problem, I know now that, you know, they've decided, red flag, right, we go to plan of action XYZ, job done, case decided.